Ever felt like you're constantly chasing something? More money, more likes, more time? We all do. We live in a world that screams, faster, better, more. But what if the secret to a truly rich life, a life filled with energy, joy, and peace, wasn't about getting more, but about listening? What if the answers we desperately seek aren't in the next viral trend or self-help guru, but in the quiet whispers of something ancient, something wise, something we've completely forgotten how to hear? Get ready, because today, we're going on a journey to discover the true meaning of wellness, a journey that might just change your life. This is the story of Aisha, Omar, and the magnificent Old Willow. Aisha was a force of nature. In her early 30s, with eyes that sparkled with ambition and a mind sharper than a freshly honed pencil, she was a rising star in the corporate world. Her days were a blur of meetings, deadlines, and a never-ending stream of emails. She ate lunch at her desk, often a protein bar and a diet soda. Sleep was a luxury, usually just 5 or 6 hours, broken by the nagging worries of her ever-growing to-do list. Health is wealth, she'd often declare, ironically, as she powered through another late night, fueled by caffeine and sheer will. She believed in fitness. She had a gym membership she barely used, and a shelf full of forgotten superfood powders. For Aisha, wellness was a checklist, something to be optimized and conquered, just like her career. Omar, on the other hand, lived a life that moved to a different rhythm. A kind-hearted man in his late 40s, with a gentle smile and hands calloused from years of tending to his small, vibrant garden, he was a teacher at the local madrasa. He was known for his calm demeanor and the effortless way he exuded peace. While Aisha chased the fleeting highs of professional success, Omar found contentment in the simple routines of his day. The pre-dawn call to prayer, the warmth of the sun on his face as he watered his plants, the laughter of his students. He ate wholesome, home-cooked meals, often shared with his family or neighbors. He walked everywhere, relishing the fresh air and the changing seasons. For Omar, wellness wasn't a destination, but a journey, a constant, conscious act of living in harmony with himself and the world around him. Their paths, though seemingly disparate, were destined to cross. Aisha's company was developing a new urban green space, and the old community garden where Omar spent much of his free time was slated for acquisition. Aisha, being the project lead, was tasked with negotiating with the community, a task she approached with her usual efficiency, seeing it as another obstacle to be overcome. Their first meeting was, to put it mildly, a clash of worlds. Aisha, armed with spreadsheets and projections, spoke of maximizing potential and urban development. Omar, with his quiet dignity, spoke of history, community, and the sanctity of the earth. Aisha saw a neglected patch of land. Omar saw a thriving ecosystem, a place where children learned about life from a sprouting seed, where elders shared stories under the shade of the grand old willow. But Mr. Khan, Aisha explained, her voice firm, this land could be so much more. A modern park, with fitness equipment, a jogging track, and even a cafe. It would bring so much to the community. Omar listened patiently, his gaze fixed on the wilting leaves of a plant on Aisha's desk. Sister Aisha, he said softly, what is it that truly brings life to a community? Is it only what we can build, or is it also what we nurture? Aisha, used to quick agreements and decisive action, found Omar's calm resistance perplexing. She presented her strongest arguments, her most persuasive data. But Omar, with a gentle shake of his head, simply invited her to the garden. Come, see for yourself, he urged. See what truly grows here. Reluctantly, Aisha agreed. The next morning, dressed in her crisp business attire, she found herself stepping into a world she barely recognized. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming jasmine. Bees buzzed lazily around vibrant flowers. Children, their faces smudged with dirt, giggled as they tended to their small patches of vegetables. And in the center of it all, stood the old willow, its branches reaching like ancient arms towards the sky, its leaves whispering secrets in the gentle breeze. Omar led her to a small, wooden bench beneath the willow. "This tree," he began, his voice a low hum, "has stood here for generations. It has seen joy, sorrow, life, and loss. It has witnessed the changing of seasons, the coming and going of people. And through it all, it remains strong, rooted, and constantly giving." Aisha, surprisingly, felt a strange sense of calm wash over her. The relentless hum of her city life, the constant chatter of her mind, seemed to quiet here. For the first time in a long time, she truly listened. Omar spoke about the principles of the garden. Each plant needs sunlight, water, and good soil to thrive. Neglect one, and the plant suffers. It's the same with us, Sister Aisha. Our bodies, our minds, our souls, they are like delicate gardens. They need nourishment, rest, and connection to truly flourish. He then began to weave stories, ancient tales of wisdom passed down through generations. He spoke of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his emphasis on moderation in all things, in eating, in working, in resting. He shared anecdotes of companions who valued inner peace above worldly possessions, who found strength in simple living and deep faith. "We often chase after external markers of success," Omar said, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon, believing they will bring us happiness. But true well-being, Sister Aisha, comes from within. It's about cultivating a healthy body, a peaceful mind, and a nourished soul. He pointed to a wilting rose bush. "See this rose? It's thirsty. No matter how beautiful its petals, if its roots are dry, it cannot thrive. Our bodies are the same. If we neglect rest, if we feed ourselves only processed foods, if we don't move, how can we expect to blossom?" He then gestured towards the children playing, their laughter echoing through the garden. Our minds, too, need nourishment. They need knowledge, reflection, and stillness. In our constant pursuit of external stimulation, we forget to allow our minds to rest, to process, to simply be. And our souls? Our souls are the deepest roots of our being. They need connection to our Creator, to our community, to our purpose. Without that spiritual connection, we become adrift, no matter how much we achieve. Aisha spent the entire morning in the garden. She watched Omar tend to his plants, his movements slow and deliberate, each touch infused with care. She saw how the children, despite their playful energy, respected the garden, understanding its delicate balance. She even helped Omar pull a few weeds, feeling the cool earth on her fingers, a sensation so foreign yet so grounding. As the sun climbed higher, Omar brought out a simple meal: freshly baked bread, olives, cheese, and sweet dates. He offered her a glass of refreshing mint tea. Eating slowly, without distraction, Aisha savored every bite. It was a stark contrast to her usual hurried meals, and for the first time, she felt truly satisfied, not just full. "You see, Sister Aisha," Omar said as they finished eating, "wellness is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It's not about extremes, but about balance. It's about listening to the whispers of your own body, your own mind, and your own soul. The old willow thrives because its roots are deep, its branches reach for the sun, and it accepts the rain and the wind with equal grace." Over the next few weeks, Aisha found herself drawn back to the garden. She started waking up earlier, not to check emails, but to take a walk in a nearby park. She began preparing simple, wholesome meals, enjoying the process of cooking. She even started meditating for a few minutes each day, simply focusing on her breath, allowing her mind a moment of quiet. The constant tension in her shoulders began to ease. The persistent hum of anxiety in her chest started to fade. She wasn't abandoning her career. In fact, she found herself more focused, more creative, and less prone to burnout. She realized that by nourishing herself, she was better equipped to tackle the challenges of her work. She even found a way to incorporate some of Omar's wisdom into her project, proposing a design for the urban green space that blended modern amenities with areas for community gardening and quiet reflection. One sunny afternoon, As Aisha sat under the old willow, its leaves rustling gently above her, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had come seeking to acquire land, but she had found something far more valuable, a new understanding of herself and the true meaning of a well-lived life. Omar joined her, his eyes twinkling. "The whispers of the old willow," he said, gesturing to the ancient tree. "They are always there. We just need to learn to listen." Aisha smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile that reached her eyes. "And I think," she replied, "I'm finally starting to hear them. The lesson we have learned from this story." What did we learn from Aisha and Omar's journey under the old willow? We learned that true health and wellness aren't just about physical fitness or avoiding illness. It's a holistic tapestry woven from three essential threads: a healthy body, a peaceful mind, and a nourished soul. Nourish your body. Just like a plant needs water and sunlight, our bodies need wholesome food, sufficient rest, and regular movement. Neglecting these fundamental needs is like trying to run a marathon on an empty tank. It's not about extreme diets or punishing workouts. It's about listening to your body's signals and giving it the fuel and care it deserves. Cultivate a peaceful mind. In our hyper-connected world, our minds are constantly bombarded. We learned that creating space for stillness, reflection, and learning is crucial. This could be through meditation, reading, spending time in nature, or simply allowing yourself moments of quiet. A calm mind reduces stress, improves focus, and fosters creativity. Feed your soul. Omar showed us that connection, to our Creator, to our community, to our purpose, is the deepest root of our well-being. When our souls are nourished, we find meaning, resilience, and a profound sense of inner peace that transcends external circumstances. This often involves acts of service, spending time with loved ones, and connecting with something larger than ourselves. The story of Aisha and Omar teaches us that wellness isn't a destination you arrive at, but a continuous journey of balance, moderation, and intentional living. It's about recognizing that every aspect of your being is interconnected. When one part suffers, the whole suffers. And when you nurture all three, your body, mind, and soul, you don't just survive, you truly thrive. So, ask yourself, are you listening to the whispers of your own old willow? Because the answers to your true well-being might be closer than you think. Embrace the journey, and watch your own garden bloom. If this story resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear the whispers of wellness too.